All right, let's get this party started. I'm excited. Welcome to our spring retreat. This is exciting. While I was preparing for today, I told you all, I think I talked to y'all last week, and I was like, I'm prepared. Um, a lot of things around me have been shifting, and you all are responsible for a lot of it, right? A lot of it's shifting because of my conversations with you, what you're personally going through in your life, in your businesses, with your children, whatever it is. And instead of this being more of the same, meaning us, buckling down and preparing to, implement a new strategy in regards to this typical way we think about our business in regards to marketing or something like that. I wanted to do something a little bit different today. So today I gave you guys a hint. I told you it'd be more of a mindset focused, but it's absolutely about business, you building your family legacy, you being the best parent you can be, you being the best human you can be, but really all on your terms. Have giving yourself the permission and taking the power, because take it like kind of harvesting or owning the power, I'll say, to do things the way you want to do them, and set your own boundaries, limits, um, building this framework around your life that allows you or gives you space to build a business that you want. One of the things I was thinking about this morning when I got up was, there's a lot of people out there, and I might have wrote this in my notes, and I made a copy of this, but I had other extensive notes, and I was like, yeah, I don't need to read everything that's in my head. So I didn't want to like scare you with everything I was writing down. Not that you can't handle it, but you'll be like, what is going on with Tamara? But it was just like, there's a lot of, you can go anywhere, download anything, Google stuff, or just scroll on Facebook and see post or see an ad for, how to make money, how to build a business, how to start this, all those things that we're all really want to do because we're in it to win it and we want to make money and we want to leave a legacy. But a lot of those things are directly related to money and like how to, it's just they hook you with the how to sell this thing to make this amount of money versus how to fix yourself or work through yourself or elevate yourself or prepare yourself, right, from a mindset standpoint, so that you can live an actively healthy lifestyle on your own terms, right? Because I believe that we cannot build the business that we really want if we aren't doing that. If we're not in the right frame of mind, if we're not preparing ourselves on a daily, weekly, consistent basis to handle all the things that are coming at us, all the problems, more money, more problems. We all understand that. Identifying clearly what it is that we really want for our lives. Because we say we want this thing and then it shows up and it's like, hold on, I had no idea, right? So it's like taking the time to really declare what it is that we want to do and be clear about where the heck we're going, right? We've been in exercises, heck, we've gone through exercises like, what problem are we solving? Who's our ideal client? Like, how many do we need? We did some exercise last Thursday of like this past Thursday, like, how many, we did the t-shirt exercise, how many do we need to sell to get to? But there's still a lot of underlining things that we haven't been talking about that affect all that stuff, right? And I've known this, but interacting with you all and seeing your response to like the monthly accelerator content and how we're like in April and some people are like, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing for March. And and I purposely put a hold on certain things because I don't want to overwhelm you. And we're not about, I'm not participating in you all becoming hoarders of information, hoarders of documents, hoarders of overwhelm and all the things that we just kind of collect with the intentions to do, but never really take action, which perpetuates that cycle or supports that cycle of shame, overwhelm, doubt, lack of worthiness, all the things that we do to ourselves, right? Which we've also been talking about. So, um, having said all that, let me know in the chat or unmute yourself if you feel like you're in the right place today based on everything I just said. Deshanta is in the chat. She said yes. Kashawn says yes, in the right place. Sharika, yes. Keisha, absolutely. Nicole, yep. April, yes. Patrice, yes. Rashida, yeppers. And you don't have to agree, but I ask these questions because I want everyone to make their own decision and decide if, like, this is, Sasha says 100%, this is something you actually need, right? So again, I want to make sure your space is ready, you have your notebooks ready. Usually, and I toggled with this too, because I originally wanted to talk through these things with you all, and I didn't have a workbook. There was no document, because I was like, how do I decrease or remove the things that are blocking us from getting to what we say we want, right? So I was like, is that just another thing to distract you? You know, I don't know. So, and when we don't know things, we test things and we try and we do things differently. And that's what we're all supposed to be doing. We talk about that with our social media. It's like, we don't just not do it. We do it in a different way, or we do it consistently in the same way for 90 days at least, at minimum. And then we decide, we have enough data to say whether or not it worked, right? And I feel like I have enough data to know that y'all don't need no more stuff. Does anybody agree with me? We don't need no more stuff tomorrow. Right? Instead, we need to figure out how do we do, I just realized my knuckles were ashy. How do we do, I know. What are we doing with what we already have? And how do we shift, like, do this internal work and mindset work so that we are, like, ready to attack, implement, take action on all the things we've already worked on, right? All the things you already know how to do, right? So that's the question. Hold on, let me just make sure everybody's muted. I think you are. Got it. Okay. All right. So I dropped the document into the chat. I'm gonna drop it again because I know some of you just came in. And again, I will talk you through it. Nothing about this process is going to be perfect because I'm not perfect. So if that's what you're looking for, you're in the wrong room. Here's the document again. Let me know if you can open it. Oh, that's just a V. I don't know what happened. Copy. That's why I did paste. Hopefully it opens for everybody. So some of the things, some of my thoughts are in there. I even put notes in the margin, but then when I copied it, I didn't realize that my notes and thoughts wouldn't transfer. They were thoughts that I wanted to share with you, but I'll just say them, or I might just add them into the chat and you can copy and paste them, whatever. This is going to be you work on your doc, work on your notebook. I'm going to give you space for us to take action. And I'm going to ask that I love that everyone's on camera because we'll be able to talk through some of these things as well. And if you can't be on camera, that's okay. That's okay. All right. So the first part of what we're going to do, which we already did, which was our introduction. The next was my introduction of what we're doing here and setting the intentions for today. And then the next thing is for you all to introduce yourself. All right. So our last retreat was heavily focused on your pitch, elevator pitch, and all the other extended pitches, and you just feeling really confident saying who you are, how you're changing the world, what problem you solve, all those things, right? Whatever we put together. We took that and moved into like optimizing our profiles. So some of you have really dove into LinkedIn. Some of us updated our Instagram. We have link trees now. There's lots of different things that we've done. Some of us have updated our home pages on our website, our about pages from that exercise, and it's been great. So I'm going to change the view over here to gallery, and I'm going to say, let's do our pitch. And remember, this is the no judgment zone, right? And don't tell me you can't do it. Don't sit there if you got a panic in your heart. Breathe deep and just let it out. All right, who wants to go first? Raise your hands, physically or your Zoom hand, whatever hand you want. So then I know who's up next, and then I can call your name. Everybody at once. Scream.
I'll go.
All right, Tarquin's in the house. Let's go.
Get it out the way. Hi, I'm Tarquin Cordes, Inclusion Champion and COO of Different is New Cool, where we believe that we are all different and we are all cool. We specialize in inclusion advocacy for young people with disabilities, parents, educators, and those seeking to create inclusive environments. We do so through a trendy clothing line, my book, Stop the Stare, Start the Conversation, A Guide to Inclusion, and other educational resources. What sets us apart is that we are a family driven brand with a unique blend of clothing and education. We are in the business of sparking inclusion conversations that build confidence, reduce stereotypes, transform schools, and empower families. So join me as I seek to change the world, one cool kid, one cool classroom, one cool household at a time.
Yay! Awesome, awesome. Yes, we'll do like Young Mogul Prep School, put fives in the chat. Or you can unmute. All right, who's next? Oh, wait, I don't have one hand raised. Oh, was that a hand raised, Sharika? I feel like that was a hand raised. All right, who's next? Sharika did it again. Two hands.
I'll go. I mean,
Let's go.
okay. I haven't done a pitch for this company yet, so let's see how it goes. My name is Shrika Kellogg. I am the owner and CEO of New Creation Stewards. New Creation Stewards is a luxury event planning service that assists small business owners, coaches, and consultants in taking their either course or dream of having a retreat from their head and onto a piece of paper and building it out as a blueprint for your next event to host. We hold your hand through the whole experience so that you don't have to think about any of the small details. You just have to execute it. And if that's too much for you, we're here to help you with that as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Clap it up. Let's go. Now you can breathe. Excellent, excellent. Shashan's ready. All of you know what you do. You know who you are.
Okay, let's see. So, hi, my name is Shashan Renee. I am the creator of Right Her Way, where we empower women to embrace self-love and self-care through the art of journaling. In today's fast-paced world, women often find themselves juggling multiple responsibilities, leading to stress, anxiety, and a sense of guilt when focusing on their own well-being. At Right Her Way, we guide women to express their thoughts, emotions, and dreams by creating a safe space for them to prioritize themselves without feeling guilty or selfish, which enables them to rediscover their inner strength and confidence.
Awesome. Yes. Great job, Shashan.
Thank you.
I know exactly what you do. I love it. Patrice just raised two hands. Patrice is up next. She's like, I'm snapping. All right, Patrice, then Sasha. I know you can pitch.
Okay, I definitely was snapping my fingers. I was not raising my hands, but I guess I have to go.
Yep, you, Sasha, then Rashida.
All right. This is off the dome because I did write one in our last planning back in October or September, but I don't know where it is right now. And I've never pitched my business, by the way, Tamara. Never, ever, ever. My name is Patrice Bush. I am the owner and lead therapist of It Takes Two Marriage Coaching, where we turn your marriage vows into marriage wows. We provide couples counseling and support couples through, we provide support to couples through couples counseling, destination marriage retreats, monthly support groups, and bi-monthly couples date nights. We believe in strengthening the family, and we know that strengthening the family starts with the head, and that is why we support the couple, knowing that that will trickle down to our children and then trickle out into having stronger communities. If we can be of support to you, you can find us at www.ittake2marriagecoaching.com.
Okay, now. I love that. Congratulations. You did that. Love the fives. All right, Sasha.
All right, I wasn't here at the last one for the pitch, but we're gonna do it anyway.
You've been pitching the whole weekend out at the fancy store. So
All right, so this is gonna be short and sweet. So my name is Sasha Lewis, and I'm the founder of Suds by Sasha. Suds by Sasha is a handmade skincare company that encourages women to ritualize wellness and cultivate sisterhood through a line of skincare and aromatherapy products.
Awesome.
That's it.
What else you got to say? That's it.
That's it.
Who you are, what you do, who you do it for, how you do it. Perfect. Love it. Great job. All right, Rashida's coming to the stage. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Rashida Garcia. I am the founder and CEO of Multicultural Teachers of the Deaf, a space where we educate people about the different cultural needs of deaf students, as well as the CEO of Ovaries and Holy Water, a fluid community experience to help the moms reimagine their role. We had these beautiful ovaries that birth these amazing children, but sometimes we need some holy water to get through it. There's a lot of struggles that we go through as parents, and it's just a space for us to just come together and explore those experiences together.
Yes, I love that. And I love the explanation of ovaries and holy water. It's like, I saw Taquin's face was like, oh, that's what that is. You're talking to me. I need a lot of holy water. Great job. I love it. Keisha, you ready?
I can be.
Excellent.
Keisha Martin Riley. Executive Director
Uh-oh. Keisha is breaking up.
with
Is it only breaking
a
up for me?
model.
Y'all can hear her? Oh,
Probably
it's breaking
is.
up for you. Okay.
Is it breaking? Okay. I'll try again when I get back.
Okay, because I could hear that last piece. I'll try again, but it was
Okay.
breaking up.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to come back later? Yes, I think so. Okay. All right, Tashanta. I think Tashanta's our last pitcher, right? Wait, no, wait. I'm intentionally asking Tashanta to go last because she's the only one of us that just won money off their money-making pitch, right? So
But that was a different business, okay?
I don't even care. I don't need any of us to be all getting intimidated and stuff. You know what I'm saying? All right, so Nicole. I got Nicole. I have April. I have to check the chat because they're not on camera.
Okay, I'll go because it's just my daughter's business, but I'll go.
No,
Nicole
it's not.
Golden.
This, hold on. This is your family business. You are the parent
Yeah.
manager. So you are completely responsible for it. So you have every right to talk about it.
You're absolutely correct.
We got
All
it.
right. Nicole Golden, CFO of My Golden Esteem. We build Black girl self-esteem through STEAM, and what sets us apart is we use affirmations to help those to bridge the gap between girls not being afraid of STEAM, but also building their confidence in themselves to be able to explore and develop in different areas of science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Yeah, I don't know. I need to work on my pitch.
No, you did great.
It's the growing space for me. I listen to Ariana all the time, but I've never pitched it before. So
Nicole.
it's something for me to work on.
Nicole.
Yes, I'm here.
You did great. You told us everything we needed to know. It was
Perfect.
great.
Thank you.
Yes, celebrate. You did awesome. All right, April. On camera, just like that. Let's go.
Okay, haven't done this since the last time.
It's okay.
Okay, let me see. Hi, I'm April from Spark of Fire, a company that wants to empower young girls to embrace their uniqueness and embrace their inner power. Oh my gosh. I can't think of what else right now.
By, how, with?
by seeing their inner beauty with their outer beauty with our products. Something
And
like
the
that.
products are? Did you tell me
The
what
lip
the products
gloss and nail polish.
were? Awesome. Thank you, April. And this is the clap for April and Nicole. Awesome. Yes, we did that. Now I'm going to ask Tashanta Hogan to come to the stage.
Hello, my name is Tashanta Hogan. I'm the founder of Tashanta Creates. My mantra is creativity isn't the way I think, it's the way I live. We nurture creativity through an array of crafting classes for the busy entrepreneurs and mothers. We provide a sanctuary where individuals can hone in on their creative instincts and find respite from the demands of daily life.
Yay! All of y'all, those are all winning pitches. Thank you, Tashanta. Everyone, that was awesome. Perfect. See, so the reason I added this in, for one, because I know we're not all completely comfortable with this, but based on what I hear you all say you want, and you're going to hear me talk about this a little bit today, this is what we need to be. We need to push through this piece, right? Because there's going to be a ton of rooms that you're going to be in, because that's what you say you want. You decide in your mind that that room is different for everyone, right? And you're going to have to do this over and over and over again. And there's going to be people in the room that are going to become your funders, your partners, your creative consultants, your supporters, your customers, whatever. But they can't if we're not able to stand up and confidently say who we are, what we do, how we do it, who we do it for, why we do it. Okay, so that's it. That's why we're doing it again, because we're going to continue to do it until we feel like it. And the other thing I want you to know is that you're always going to feel that little warm feeling or like panic feeling, however it resonates in each of us. That's normal. You can deliver this pitch for 50 years and you're still going to feel, because you're always going to do it probably in a different room, a different space with different levels, and you're going to be judging the people and thinking they're judging you. So that's fine. You're just going to get up and you're going to nail it and you're going to sit down. And then after, you're going to enjoy everyone wanting to be your best friend. And that's it. My name is Tamara Zantell. I am the CEO and founder of Raising a Mogul and Legacy Brand Creators. I'm also the COO of Xandra, a skincare company that my daughter started at the young age of 9 years old. I was able to successfully help her take her kitchen table hobby and turn it into $1 million brand. Now I have the privilege and the honor to do that with parents all across the globe that have kidpreneurs with huge ideas, huge dreams, so they can build sustainable, profitable, and impactful brands at their kitchen tables. I just made it up, but I know who the hell I am. I haven't pitched it, I don't know how long, and then put them all together, right? Because usually I'm only talking about Raising a Mogul, Legacy Brand, or Xandra, depending on which room I'm in. So that was the first time, and probably I can't remember that I actually put it together. Thank you, Sharika, for challenging me. Awesome. Okay, so now that we're all on the edge of our seats and all stressed the hell out, we can go into the next part, which is our guided meditation. Last time we did this, you all expressed that you really enjoyed an opportunity to kind of sit still and reflect, on, or just recenter or just sit still, because a lot of us don't have this opportunity to do it. So we're going to do our guided meditation. No, all you have to do is listen and breathe. Okay, this is a mindset relaxation meditation, right? Again, I always give y'all the disclaimer: this has nothing to do with religion or anything, your beliefs. It's just an opportunity for you to sit still and think things through, right? Or just sit still and not think at all. Just listen or do whatever. Listen to the music, listen to my voice, whatever, find what you need and leave the rest. Okay, are we all in agreement? Does that feel good? All right, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get started. It's only 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes to just be. Okay. Oh, I need to share the sound. I always forget to do that. Oh, did I do it? Oh, here it is. Share sound. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear. All right. So we're going to take a moment, consider peace in the middle of our already probably busy day. We'll spend the next few minutes in a guided meditation designed to ground you and enhance your presence, specifically in this retreat. I'm hoping that this will help to engage you more deeply throughout our session today. So let's begin. I want you to find a position that allows for you to both be alert and relaxed. I'm going to move up to the edge of my seat. So my feet are flat on the floor. You want your feet to be flat on the floor if possible, or if you're sitting on your bed or in another position, if your legs are crossed, that's fine. But you want to make sure that your spine is aligned with the back of your chair or pillow or whatever's behind you. Okay? Again, you might prefer to sit crisscross on the ground or where you're on your bed, wherever you are. So you want to place your hands comfortably in your lap. And when you're ready, and if you feel safe, gently close your eyes. We're going to take some initial deep breaths. Can't do it wrong. In and out. You want to breathe slowly through your nose. Allow your stomach to expand fully. On this next breath, hold your breath for a few seconds. Now exhale slowly through your mouth. We want to let go of any tension in our bodies. Now let's repeat that, breathing twice more, each time feeling more relaxed. Now with each breath, feel yourself becoming more grounded. Visualize roots growing from the soles of your feet deep into the earth. These roots anchor you, giving you a sense of stability and connectedness to the ground beneath you. Continue breathing. In, out. Picture a warm, glowing light at the base of your spine, representing stability and calm. With each breath, this light becomes brighter and warmer, spreading its calming energy through every part of your body. Feel this stability grounding you, providing a firm foundation for this moment. In and out. As you continue to breathe deeply, focus on the sensation of the air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, and leaving your body. If your mind begins to wander, gently bring your attention back to these sensations and embrace the present. Embrace the moment fully. Now in our final moments of the meditation, take 3 more deep breaths. With each inhale, I want you to gather strength and calm from your surroundings. With each exhale, release any remaining stress. In and out. Now gently open your eyes when you're ready and take a moment to notice how you feel, more grounded, present, ready to tackle this retreat and the challenges that might come with a clear mind and a strong foundation. All right, let's check in. Tell me how you're feeling. You can unmute or use the chat.
Calm, alert.
Good. It's amazing what 5 minutes can do. I always do 5 minutes because sometimes we always say we don't have time. And you think about where you spend 5 minutes somewhere else or doing something else that might not serve you. And the thought that how 5 minutes could recenter you, refocus you, ground you so that you can make a clearer decision or move forward with clarity. Say what you really mean kindly. Awesome. Tashanta says she's sleepy. I don't think I can go any further. Shashan said, this is great. That is great. That was great. I needed that. Rashida's grounded. April's good. Awesome. All right, friends. So let's move on. So the first piece, first, does anybody need to take a break? Let me know. Do you need to take a break? Are we good? I know our time is a little off, but I'm not going to allow that to change the flow because it is what it is. Awesome. Patrice says she feels awesome. All right. So as you can see on the document that you have, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about your solvable problem. I've talked to you a little bit about this before. Tashanta and I went to a conference, I think in October, with one of my mentors. And this was one of the key things that we focused on. And I knew about the concept of solvable problem in the past. And I feel like I've learned it from other coaches and other mentors, and I've even implemented it, but I've never really like attached to what it's the name of it. You know, how you do something, you're not really sure what it's called or like how to declare it, but you know you're practicing it already. So you could resonate with you in a different way than it does with me. And that's the whole purpose of today, for me to present ideas for you and you to kind of reframe them and decide how they resonate and how they unfold in your life and in your business. Okay. So initially with the solvable problem, I'm going to first, before I go into that, how are you all feeling about, does anybody have their document up? Because I was thinking I would just talk through it and we can talk through it and you can make notes on your doc, or would you prefer I share my screen? Tell me what your preference is. Because I don't have slides or anything like that. We're just having a conversation and walking through these steps, and we're going to implement some things. Okay, Keisha wants me to share my screen. All right, I'll share the same doc that you have. And then I have some of my notes over here, so that's fine. Okay, yeah. Okay, Keisha's driving. Girl, be careful, please. Okay. All right, so here's the document I'm looking at. I'm going to close this so that's not a distraction. And then I'm also, this is probably good because then as I'm speaking, I'll put some notes in the side margin. And then I can probably just add you on to this doc and you'll see the notes. And then that way, you know, or I could probably put them in the chat too. Let me open my chat. And then that way you can add them onto your doc if you need to. That's probably a good idea. So we're just gonna, again, I told you it'll be a little messy, but we're gonna make it work. All right. No judgment. All right. So we're talking about this solvable problem. So the idea of the solvable problem, and you've heard this before. It's like, what we usually hear it from, like, what problem do you solve for your customers? But I want to flip it on its head today. And we're talking about the solvable problem for you, your life, your business. So you can take this personal or you can take this for your business. I know this is a mastermind And we think forward, we initially think business only, but the beauty of this mastermind and the experiences that we have together is we're working on ourselves. It's a personal thing, our children, our families, and the businesses that we're building while still being ourselves and being human, right? So in this context, the solvable problem is like having a clear target to aim for. It's figuring out exactly what you need to achieve your goal, setting a timeline to get there, and then measuring your progress along the way. We've all kind of experienced, y'all seen me twinkle or sprinkle this into with our 90-day plans, our strategic plans, a simple plan planner. I've positioned it and presented it so many different ways. And so here's another. Why? Because some of us are still have not identified it, and we're not clearly working towards it in a strategic way that we're proud of. Okay. And I'm making that assumption, or I don't know if it's an assumption. That's an educated comment or thought based on my conversations with you. And whereas a lot of you are killing it, all of you are killing it in different areas. But I want us today to get really, really clear on the one solvable problem specifically for 90 days. This quarter. This is a quarterly retreat. So we're talking about this quarter. Okay. So again, we think about breaking down your goals into smaller, manageable tasks and using data to guide your decisions. You can solve problems to reach your objectives effectively. So it's all about identifying what you need to get done, when it needs to get done, and how you'll know when you have succeeded. So I wrote here some of the things I want you to think about. If you have your own document up, please tab down, create space, because I'm going to ask you to write some things or write in your notebook. Whatever you feel comfortable, whether typing on the doc or writing in your notebook, if you're not driving. Okay. So these are the things, this is before we jump into how to do this. These are the things I want you to think about. What do you want right now? Right? What do you want right now? And this could be your business, personal, you can do one, but I really just want you to focus on one thing. The next time, what do I want? Right. So if I look back to Thursday, the call we had Thursday, we were talking to April. April's like, I want to make more sales. Right. Or she can even get more specific. I want to make sales from people I don't know. Patrice is like, I want to sell X number of dollars in t-shirts specifically. Right. Sasha's like, I want to be still and receive, rebuild, be thoughtful. You know what I mean? I want to be while being productive without the stress, the overwhelm, the hustle, so that I can teach her how to do something similar. Right. I want to be intentional, feel rejuvenated. So what do you want? I want us to get really, really clear. Is it sales? What is it for you? Right. So here's a note I'm going to put in the chat for you. And while I'm talking through these, I want you to start writing some notes down, please. Okay. And then we want to think, where am I right now? Because if I say I want to, I'll give examples, and there's some other examples down below. We're going to keep repeating this until we actually really understand it. If I say I want to, geez, one of the things I've been saying lately is like, I want to blow this pop stand and take me and my laptop and move to Thailand, Costa Rica, somewhere, Tulum, I don't know, some other place that's probably most people aren't visiting, but so I can grow herbs, eat clean, be near water, and live my best life without distractions, overwhelm, or people pulling on me. Right? So when I say I want, now that obviously I could say, well, that's 90 days, or I could say that's the year, but it's like, okay, which piece of that? So that means I need to make this much money every single month, or save this much money. Or it could look like, well, in order for me to do that, I need to get my credit right, because I could want to buy a house right out. So I need to save money, get my credit right, so when I get there, I can buy a house. Or I need to make sure all 5 of my kids are sustainable, right? So that when I'm there, they're not driving me crazy. So I want you to think through that. Like when you say what you want, and so now I'm talking about where I'm at. So if I say I want to be able to pick up and buy a house in Costa Rica and live my best life, again, that's personal. Best life is subjective. My business is going to be your business, right? Where am I at right now? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, Right now I'm making $5,000 a month. Maybe I need to do that. I might need to make $7,000 a month. Right. So that's where I'm at right now. Well, we're also where I'm at. I just made up, I'm making this up, but I just said I need to fix my credit. So now I'm like, okay, my credit score is only a 600. I want to at least be at a 750 because I want to be able to buy the house or pay cash for the house. Patrice says, does it need to be a previously stated goal, like what we said on Thursday? No, it can be whatever you want in this moment, because this is going to, your solvable problem that you declare will be what you work towards for the next 90 days. It can be whatever you want. And ideally, it would be great if we all can have one solvable problem, because that's what we're going to put every single part of our energy behind. And if you're going to split yourself, have one personal, have one business. But I wouldn't go for more than one of each, because it's just going to blow up. Because the thing, once we get into this, you're going to think about all the things we have to do to get to push that first, to like to give birth to the one. You know what I mean? So hopefully that helps. Okay, so in my example, I said I need to, my credit score is low, I need to get it higher. So that's where I'm at. It's like sucky. I got to print my credit report and realize I'm only at a 600. And I'm like, in order for me to buy the house, if I can't afford to pay for it cash, I need to be at a 720, or I don't know. It's like, where am I at? Really being honest with where you are right now and what do you have, right? So that's number 3. What do I have right now? And what do I need? What resources, knowledge, support, education? I need to map it out. I can't just wake up and be like, yes, y'all, middle finger to everybody, I'm going to Costa Rica. Because for one, I need to assess where I'm at. Shanta, don't laugh at me. I need to assess where I'm at and be real with myself. Because if not, now I'm moving forward without having been honest with myself. So that's creating more friction and decreasing the chance that I'll actually get what I say I want. And then me saying, what do I have? What do I need? Now I can gather the resources. I can do some research. I can start reading this Costa Rica blog or start researching homes. Maybe I need a realtor. I don't know. Maybe I need to visit consumer counseling credit so I can get that credit score up. It gives me an opportunity to focus on just what I say I need in order to take that next step. Then it's, how do I get it? We want to list the things that we can do with what we have right now, or what we have access to right now. And I say that because a lot of us have access to a lot of resources, tools, tips, guides, support, especially in this day and age of social media. Maybe I don't need to go and, spend, I don't need to fly to Costa Rica and spend $4,000 getting the lay of the land right now. Maybe for the next year, because I know it's going to take me a year to build my credit and save that money. Maybe I can just, follow a couple blogs, like I said, a couple Instagram, Costa Rica people, and just learn more about it so I can be properly prepared. What do I need to get what I want to get to? How do I get it? And you want to list the things that you have access to, and think about what you have right now. And then it's the timeline. Being realistic. We've talked about this timeline and the SMART goals. This is just a different approach to it. Timeline to accomplish what you say you want. And this is worst case scenario. So this is not like if everything goes well and all the kids behave, and if I lose the 20 pounds, and if I go ahead and get that check, and if he don't act like a fool. No, if worst case scenario, be realistic. After you've already declared where you are, what you want, what you have, what you need. Now it's like, okay, how long is it going to take? Because in this moment, you might be able to think like, maybe that's why the last time I didn't get to where I wanted to get to, because I hadn't worked through all these things, for one. And for two, I tried to do a year's worth of something in 90 days. Does everybody get me? Let me know in the chat if you're with me. Awesome. So another thing, so I have these things to note. So I'm going to drop these things in the chat. These are on my notebook, in my notes, excuse me, things that I wanted to mention to you. This process will help you identify the gap between where what you really value, because what you say you want is what you really value. right? So it's like me using my example of Costa Rica, me saying I want to move to Costa Rica so I can live my best life and be an herbalist and be one with the land and see water every day is because I value my peace, my solitude in this next phase of my life. Like I value me and I value the idea and the thought and the freedom that comes along with my next step, my dream, this thing I say I want, right? So it's like identifying the gap between what I really value and what I say I want. So if I really want what I say, right? Or if I value what I say I want, then I'm going to go harder for it. Does that make sense? So for example, if I maybe I don't value my peace, maybe I don't value myself. So I say I want it, but I'm getting up every day eating Cheerios and I ain't even call consumer accounts and credit. I ain't saved $5 in the last 30 days. So it's like, do I really value my peace and what I say I want? Do you really value, this life that you say you want to live? Like, what does that look like for you? Okay. And it's also the other thought I put here is the idea of actually doing versus think you're doing. Because a lot of us spend a lot of time, and this is an ouchie, right? Doing things, but are we doing things that are in alignment with what we say we want? Or we just think we're doing things that are in alignment with what we say we want? Like that's the game we play in our minds when we get up and we go on social media or we're watching something or we download something new or we allow ourselves to get all stuck in something. Does that make sense? It's like actually doing versus think you're doing. It's a real gut reality check. Like a lot of this stuff is going to make you uncomfortable, and that's okay. Okay. The other thing I put here in what I put in the chat, I think, did I put that in the chat? Yes, I did. I said, you need to truly understand why you're doing it. Because if you don't understand your why for this solvable problem, like, why do I want to solve this problem? This is my why. Then you're never going to finish it. You're just not going to move forward. That why is so important. And it's a personal thing again. Okay. Why are you doing it? Patrice says, let me see. I think this process is helping me see what I actually want, but I don't have the desire to really do the thing that will help me reach that goal. That's good. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. That's actually what today is mostly about, is doing things that not stepping outside of what you value and doing things that you actually like to do. And that's what we're going to get to when we start talking about bumpers and those boundaries. Keisha said, my why is the only thing I'm certain of. And the why, it's like, why am I doing this? Okay, so what's my next solvable problem? My next solvable problem is to have my program in 5 schools, or to be making this X amount of money from my programs. You can do it whichever way you want. You can attach it to money if the money is what is the solvable problem, because the money is going to allow me, Keisha, this is real for you, to step away from my day job. So I need to make this much money. That's your solvable problem. I need to make this much money every single month. And the why, it's what's going to push you and keep you focused on it. Okay. All right. So now let's get into this. Let me go back to this document. All right. So you can write some things down here. I just left that blank for you to write some things. So now let's get into defining your solvable problem. You want to identify a specific challenge that, when solved, could significantly enhance your business's visibility and engagement. This is an example, right? We're talking about business. Now, some of you, your solvable problem might be related to your personal, but right now, because this is the mastermind and I'm focused on the business in this example, and I have another example that I just made up, but it might be relevant to some of you. But while I'm talking you through this, I need you to be thinking about your solvable problem. I'm going to give you space to identify that, but I want you to see it mapped out in an example. Okay. So if we want to identify a specific challenge that, when solved, would significantly enhance your business visibility and engagement. This should be tangible and measurable. right? A tangible and measurable problem, like something I can do something about. Like I need to show up to get it done. And I can watch the data. There's proof that it was done, and I can look that, check out that it was, I can optimize it. All right. Okay. So an example this is the example I just made up, is I want to grow my Facebook group to 500 members to increase my community engagement and sales opportunities. I just made this example up because a lot of things we've been talking about are around opportunities. So whether that's speaking opportunities or sales opportunities, or, invites to do classes, courses, workshops, it all to me came together as visibility and engagement, right? So we're building that ecosystem around us. We need to be known for the thing. So we increase all of our opportunities equals sales. All right. So step 2 here. So step 1 is we want to define the solvable problem. Step 2 is then we choose our tactic. What is the tactic we're going to be doing? Like, how are we doing this? Right. So for this example I'm giving you, my tactic is to engage what I call grow a 2-step interaction plan on Facebook and Instagram. So giving you an example what that 2-step looks like. We've all gone through it. It's like me having a lead magnet. I'm doing a live stream saying, hey, Tamara Zantell here. I'm here to teach you how to grow your social media in just 30 days. And I tell them some kind of tips and tricks of something fun, engaging, something that I've done that I can prove, maybe show an example, maybe share a story of a client's story of how I helped Sheila grow her Instagram followers from 5 to 50 in just 48 hours. I don't know, right? Make sure it's true and it's integrity. But the point is, the 2-step works is me giving them some information, tips, support, and then say, download this thing to learn more. I grab their information. We've gone through the whole lead magnet thing. They get the lead magnet during the delivery of the lead magnet, you're inviting them to join the group. Or for some of us, they watch your video, they take the next step, whatever that next step, first step is you posting on social. The second step is you giving them a clear call to action. That's the 2-step. You do 1 and then there's a 2. And then when they respond to your call to action or engage or comment, then you come back and you follow up. So if they're downloading a freebie, your follow-up is that first email delivering the freebie with the invite. But if they're commenting on your post, it could be you slide in their DMs on Facebook or Instagram and saying, hey, so tell me about what kind of problems. I see you raised your hand for our free marriage, assessment or whatever. Are you ready for, healthy communication assessment for couples? Let's talk through it, right? So that's the 2-step. It's really hooking them. And it's like, you know what? This is what we talk about every Thursday in my Facebook group, or this is what I talk about when I do free trainings or reels or video or content over on my Instagram or my LinkedIn or my TikTok. Let me know in the chat if you understand what I'm doing. So that would be my tactic. My tactic is, what am I doing? What marketing strategy thing I'm doing to do what I said I wanted to do, which was grow my Facebook group by 500 people. Okay. Now 3 is you break down your solvable problem into measurable steps. So it's outline clear, actionable steps that will lead to solve your problem. And we're going to include any known metrics that can guide your targets for each step. Okay. So for an example, now this is my fake example based on me wanting to grow my Facebook group by 500 people. Right now, again, I'm focused on 90 days. So my goal is 90 days. So the goal for the next 90 days, just as a reminder, increase my Facebook group membership by 500 members. The solvable problem is enhance content engagement to convert viewers into community members, thus leading to significant increase in interactions and content visibility. Because I understand that if I get you in my Facebook group, you're going to purchase, engage, want to learn more, contribute. Either way, whatever that looks like over time, I got them into that. They've already come into my funnel. At some point, the chances of them becoming a buyer is going to increase. That's what I know about my example. Okay. So let's break it down. So now this is where the numbers come in. And this is the piece that gets a little scary, but if we don't have numbers, we don't know what we're measuring, and we don't know if we made it. We don't know we don't know if we've been successful, or if we need to work harder, if we need to optimize. We have no idea. Okay. So here's the detailed breakdown. If I want to calculate based on expected interaction rates, examples of the calculation. So for example, if I say, okay, so now I'm like breaking it down, get people into the Facebook group. I need 500 people. I already said that my tactic is to put out content that's going to I'll do the 2-step process to put out content to get them to it. And so I can invite them, right? So I know if I catch them, make them take action, I can invite them. There's a chance that they'll say yes, and they'll actually click join the group, right? We got me? So now that means if my job, my action, my tactic is to post on social, whatever that posting look like, it doesn't matter what type of content I'm putting out, don't get hung up on that. It could be a blog, it could be a video, it could be whatever I want it to be. And I'm going to test it through this process. Then now I'm saying, just as an example, I'm going to do 4 posts a week for 12 weeks. That's 48 posts. Okay. Did I write that twice? Yes. We didn't need that twice. That's okay. And so the estimate based on the past data, if I have past data or what's happening in the industry, is like you get about 10, and this is why you can look at what your people are already doing, so that way you're not like putting stress on yourself. Because it's like right now, if you know no one is looking at your content, it's like I'm not going to say that if I make 48 posts, I'm going to get 50,000 likes on each post. That's ridiculous, right? Because I'm just starting, or I'm just starting to do it differently, right? Wherever you are in the process. So if I say, okay, 10 interactions per post times 48 posts, that's 480 interactions. Why did I do this twice? I don't know what I did. So just ignore that. And then we say conversions to the group, assuming that 10% of each interaction leads to a new group membership. Then that means if we do 10% times the 480 interactions, that brings me to 48 new members. Is everybody with me? If we're doing it by the numbers. Now, this is just an example. Don't stress yourself. So now that we have, so this is, again, it is an example. We're not gonna kill it the first time, right? In the first 30 days. This could just be, if there's 48 posts and then I start and I go of the first couple weeks. So say I go to the first 4 weeks and I'm like, gee, I'm only getting 10 interactions per post. Then that means that if I don't change anything, I'm going to end up with that 48 posts, 480 interactions. Based on what I'm doing right now, I'm going to end this 90 days max out at 48 members. Doing this gives me the space and the information I need and the data to let me know where I need to optimize. Let me know in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. Because at 4 weeks, maybe even at 2 weeks, I can say, they don't like the music I'm doing, or maybe I should try video, or maybe my podcast introduction needs to be optimized. Maybe people are coming to the podcast because I can see those analytics on the back of the podcast, but when they get to my page or the delivery of the freebie, they're not converting. They're not opening that email. So I need to change the subject line. Or maybe I need to send 3 emails over the week to remind them to open the thing that has the invite. Or maybe I need to build the invite to the Facebook group into the original email instead of putting it at the bottom of the freebie. Because then that assumes that's more friction, because I'm assuming that they open the freebie. What if they don't open the freebie? So, okay, there's a couple things I can change this week. But if we don't do this work, set the goal, understand the solvable problem, and micro step it out, we'll never know what to fix. So then we spend a lot of our time in this space where we're like, I tried that, it didn't work. Nope, I posted 6 times, it didn't work. I did a video, it didn't work. And it's like, okay, well, first we said 90 days. That means consistent. Those 48 posts. And if you don't do 48 posts, we're already not, in alignment with what we said we were going to do. And we're not going to get the data we need to get. All right. So step 4 is based on the calculations. This is kind of what I already said. If you're falling short of your goal, which is here in this scenario where I'm only getting, at the end of the 90 days, if I don't make any adjustments, don't optimize, don't pay attention, don't adjust, I'm only getting the 48 members versus the 500 I said I wanted, right? So now I can make a decision. This is the same thing I just said. And by increasing the posting frequency, enhance the engagement strategies, change it to, you know, whatever I'm posting, it arms me with enough information so that I can make a different choice. All right. So this is just me playing. I haven't even started this process. This is me working through my solvable problem. This is what I want you all to do for yourselves. So now this is all the notes, this whole fake scenario. This is just what I did. I went through each step. And then step 5, of course, it's like, okay, what's my content creation plan? What do I want to do? So you can read through this. Bucket 1 is just what I'm going to do in the group. Because remember, I want them to join the group. So I got to have something for them in the group, right? So what's going to be happening over there? I got to have a welcome intro video. I'm thinking through the full process. The reason I put this here is because a lot of us say we want to do the thing, but we only think of getting the thing out there or getting the goal and declaring it to everyone that this is my goal. I want 500 people in my Facebook group, but we don't take the time to work through the full process to make sure it's complete. Because we can get the people, yes, finishing. We can get the people to come on over, but is our work in vain if we get the 500 people to knock on our door and hit the join button and then they get in there and there's crickets because I'm spending all my time over here doing 2 steps on Instagram or Facebook? So now we done did the work and we didn't think through what was going to happen when we get what we say we wanted. Edit that for your life, your business, your specific solvable problem. Okay. So again, this is fictitious. I say, well, in order to do my thing, my solvable problem is this. I have to, I have my tactic that heavily involves my micro steps of creating content. So I can do the 2 steps, so I can get these people into the group. And now that they're in the group, this is so I'm mapping out what this content is going to look like. This is the content for the group. These are some ideas that I just wrote out that's going to work on education and value adding to social media. And then calls to action and other things I can do to get people to download, to join, to whatever, because I'm not going to just stick to the 2-step thing. I might, 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, be like, you know what? Don't nobody want this freebie. And I don't have time to redo a freebie because I'm not going to judge it. I'm going to say, what else can I do with this time? Instead of driving down the freebie rabbit hole and starting over, maybe I can just go ahead and do a Q&A. Maybe I can find one of my mastermind sisters and be like, let's do a live stream. Let's do a 30-day whatever, like Keisha's doing, because I know that's going to be instant, engagement, and I can reach out to more people, especially if I have guests. I double my audience because I now get access to their audience, right? So it's just thinking through different things. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop my share just really quick because I need to see your faces to make sure that I didn't, no one wants to leave. All right. Tell me how you're feeling. Let's create a little space about this solvable problem and let's talk through it. Who wants to talk through it? Who has questions, comments, anything?
So would mine be realistic if I say I want to have my book incorporated into 3 to 5 schools in the fall?
Yes. And I mean, every single thing you do is focused for the next 90 days specifically, but you can repeat it again. But we start with 90 days because we don't want to say the whole year because then we're putting too much pressure on ourselves and we already know how that works. Yeah, that means then now you got to think about your tactics. So if that's your solvable problem, but really the solvable problem would be, yeah, that's your solvable problem, right? You can identify like what's your why in that, what's that going to get you. You're not attaching it to money specifically, maybe not.
Right.
If you are, you can write those things in there. But if that's your solvable problem, then that means everything you do for the next 90 days is focused on that specifically.
Which is good because I want to get to the schools before school is out for the summer because I know they're going to be already working on what they're going to be doing for next year.
Right. Yep. So now we just got to think about what those tactics look like. And how does that show up on social? How does that show up on, in other ways? Is that emails? Is that phone calls? So now you got to map all that out and a couple different things, but we're not going to go after and do all the things. We're going to focus. So, because the idea here is when you map it out, like how I just wrote out a whole bunch of things, I didn't attack and do everything all at once, because that's when we burn out, or that's when we just like, forget it. I can't do all that. It's like me, I'm going to quit smoking, quit drinking wine, lose 20 pounds, work out 5 times a week, and stop cussing. What? How about we just try not to call people MFers this week? Good job, Tamara. Right? So it's like, we do all that. So but doesn't mean you can't dump it out all the different ways you can get to it. But it's like, this month, I'm gonna do this, but then it's like I tried it and I didn't get a response, or I didn't do this, or it didn't go as well. Now I can deploy something else, but it's still all towards an alignment towards that one solvable problem. And then as you're out in the fields, doing things, meeting people, speaking engagements, whatever comes out of you being visible and showing up in pursuit of this solvable problem, new ideas will come. So you go and you update and you're like, oh, okay. So you might not do these other 2 things because the principal actually said, give me a call. You know what I mean? So you can still do that and do the whatever, however it works. You know, maybe that's a connection that gets you in the 2 of the 5 you wanted to get in. But at least you have a plan, and it's not like, well, they said no. Now what do I, like that panic of not knowing what to fall back on and what to try next or what to do next is what we don't want. We want to know what our micro steps are, so we always feel armed and empowered by our next best step. Keisha says, makes sense. I have a question for later off topic about Talkman's book. Okay. Talkman, remember, Keisha has that question. Okay, who else wants to go? Or has any questions, comments?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So like what do I want? I said create systems in my business and focusing on my rebrand. So it says, where am I at?
Mm-hmm.
Am I just gonna say like, where am I at? Like what? I don't know. Where am I at in the process?
Yeah. So where are you at? What you say you want? This is what you want. Let's just stay with the systems in the business. This is what I want, right? So at the end of this 90 days, for example, the problem I'm solving for is systems in my business. So where am I at? No systems. Maybe. I'm just gonna make it up.
That's simple.
My Google, yes, that's simple. My Google Drive is a hot mess, but we break it down a little bit more specifically. Don't know where all my receipts are. Need to put all my, every time I order oils into one email or create folders in Google, like whatever, like those would be more the tactics, but it's like, I don't know where the receipt was from Sopa's Choice. I can't ever find the receipts, right? So now it's like, those are the things, and knowing what those, where you're at is perfect for you specifically, because you can share it with your assistant and say, this is what we're working with, as opposed to not identifying where you're at and not being real with where you're at, and that person coming in feeling like you're and thinking that you're further along than you are, or you're worse than what you are, or whatever it is. We all need the information to be able to take our next best step. But if we're not clear and honest, we're working towards, we don't know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
For me, I think, when you talked about crickets, that's my life right here. But my solvable problem is actually what you kind of listed. It's just, but I put it as more legit conversations, like wholesome conversations with other people within the group.
Mm-hmm.
Not just me posting things, but having actual conversations where people are engaging within the group.
Right. So that's your solvable problem?
Yes.
With the goal to just increase engagement in the group.
Yes.
So that they can have a better experience, you can have a better experience. If that's your solvable problem for the next 90 days, then now we look at first, all the things that we, where are we at right now, being very clear about that. And when you say where are we at, the other thing you can do is like, what have I tried? Where am I at? Is like, I have this group where they're in here because they want to be in here, but they're not participating. So you can actually take some time when you do this exercise to think of like, what are the things I tried? Did any of them work? And then I just didn't do it again. Or I needed to tweak it or optimize it or do it a little bit differently. Maybe I did it on a Wednesday and it probably would have been better if I did it on a Sunday. So some of the things for all of us, it's not that what we did in the past didn't work or wasn't any good or we needed to trash it. We just needed to look at it in a different way or reframe it or put it out again or share it 3 times instead of just once, you know? And then so you think about, let me go back to our questions. Where am I at? And then what do I have? What do I need? What do I have? I mean, you specifically, we just keep it on Rashida. You have a wealth of information, right? You have this dynamic personality that people relate to and they see themselves and you're funny and all that, right? So you don't really need to gather a whole bunch of other stuff. And you've been traveling and doing all these things and you're living this life, right? Are we talking about ovaries and holy water? Either way, you're living the life, even if it's the
Yeah.
education. Yeah, even if either whichever Facebook group, it's still your life, right? So you already have the resources, but it's like, okay, what else do I need? Maybe I need more structure. Maybe I need to use the guides in the group. Maybe I need a standard time where I do a live stream to actually connect so they get more of me and they're missing me and my personality, my humor, my way of like easing people in and making them feel seen, you know? And then we think about, so that's how we get to like our tactics. What are the things we can try that we're going to stick to and not just abandon if it doesn't work or feels weird the first couple times we try it or the first one time we try it. Is that helpful?
Very.
Awesome. Does anybody else want to go, or do you want? I'm going to give you all a couple of minutes to just write out your thoughts.
I'll go. So my solvable problem is to create classes to relieve stress with entrepreneurs and mothers. I want to develop classes to present to my audience at least once a month. And I need to learn how to use Funnel Gorgeous to create my own classes. I feel like my blockage is me not feeling confident with that. So my timeline is I need to create that as well as create a timeline to sit, to learn and look at the videos to feel more confident. And once I feel confident with that, it's like I don't need anything, meaning like I have everything that I need in order for me to develop the videos. It's just me learning the software. And the other question was what marketing strategy. So one of the marketing strategies that I was thinking is if I was to do little things weekly with a nice topic, because consistency is everything, meaning like once a week, something that I can teach that they can do right then on the spot. So they get a chance to know my personality going live or something easy. I think that would probably be a good marketing strategy. And then from there, let them know that, hey, I have this new class that's coming out on the date, blah, 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 because they always see me behind the scenes. They don't know me. You know, I never really come on screen a lot, especially on my Facebook personal page, because I could get more people over onto Tashanta Creates page. On Tashanta Creates page, I've been coming out a little bit, but not as much as I should. And I feel like I haven't been giving value of showing them how to do something right now.
Got it. So would you be open to your solvable problem shifting a little bit to selling this many workshops? I mean, because I was going to say, because at first you started with, it was to record or to put out. I can't remember the exact words, but in my mind, it was like
classes to release
make
stress.
the classes. Yeah, get the classes, like produce the classes, right? For the woman to relieve the stress. But then you talk about your social media marketing plan, which means the goal is to sell the class. So if we go all the way to the end, the solvable problem is to sell X amount of classes in the next 90 days, right? And then we back into the micro steps would be, first, I need to identify what those classes are going to be based on where I'm at, what I have, what I need, right? And what they need. We can even twist it a little bit like that, right? And then we identify what those classes are, and then we record those classes. So now I feel like we want to like, even though I know the Funnel Gorgeous piece, so that your software, your tool piece is a big thing for you. And it can stay there, right? So they can be going parallel kind of, but I don't want that to be the reason why you don't solve the problem, because we both know that you can still sell that class and not be a master of the tool because you've done it over and over and over and over again. So that's just an idea, right? So if you get like 30 days in and you're like, dang, I don't want it. And sometimes when we stack our goals or we stack the problems, or, we're super ambitious, when one piece is not working or moving, we stop all of it. We just stop the whole train. And it's like, well, only car 2 was a little wobbly. We could have let that joint go and kept going. You know what I mean? We could have just unhooked the hatch and still made it. But we don't tend to think about it that way. So I think if you approach it knowing that you can let loose the caboose, which is the learning the tool, if things start to get rocky, then no problem. Does that make sense?
Because I have the classes listed that I want to do, and that you just stated, that was the thing was, oh my God, everything is not perfect right now, so I'm not doing nothing.
But you can't. But the thing is, because you started by saying create, produce, develop these classes, and so basically what I hear you saying right now is you have everything. You have pretty much have everything you need to do that, except for you might need to go get oranges and lemons and decorate the kitchen and to get your t-shirt, whatever. But those are the things we still need to map out for each class. What do I need to do for each class? If I say I'm going to make 3 classes, what does that mean? What does each class mean? Because once I get each class mapped out, I might not have the room to do to learn the tool. I might be, doing what you did before. Copy. I know you said you can duplicate, you can use your resources, which I'm one of them. It might not feel great right now, but did you solve the problem?
Yeah.
So that's why I go back to, what do you really want? Like, what do you really want? Is it that you really want to be a master of this tool, or do you really want to get these courses out so that you can support these women because they're so stressed out?
Got it.
And because, and doing the work to get the courses out automatically means you have to do the tactics, which is your marketing, which increases your visibility, engagement, sales, and everything else.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure. Anybody else have anything?
I think I need to process mine out loud too.
Okay, let's do it.
So my solvable problem is that I want to make an additional $1,000 a month. And that is consistent. I'm 100% for sure about that. Like, that's what I want to do. My challenge is that I've started to create a plan around doing that with the relationship t-shirts. I still want to do that. But my challenge is that I'm a control freak when it comes to business, and I can own that. And because with the t-shirts, there's moving parts that are out of my control that make me feel like I don't have full control over how quick I can make the 1,000. So then I revert back to what I know, which is therapy. And then I say, why not just bring on another coach? You know that. You know how to train somebody quickly. You know how to get them. You have the clients. You know how to fill up a caseload and make your $1,000 that way, because it's something that you already know, you're familiar with, and you can control every aspect of it. Outside, of course, of the flow of new clients coming in, but I know how to even get the flow of clients coming in.
Right.
And so I'm like, do I not want to do the t-shirts, because I still want to have that as an additional stream of income, but should that be my immediate, like, this is my solvable problem and this needs to be the way in which I solve it? Should that be the thing that I will 100% focus on when so much of it feels like it's out of my control?
I think it comes back to what you want, right? So if you want these t-shirts or this shop and everything else, because I mean, to be honest with you, it might not just be t-shirts. You might be selling other things, as you're inspired. And do you want, if you look at this t-shirt business as something that's more of a passive, or compare that to the therapy, is that necessarily passive? What's the lift look like? So this is where it's like, what do I have right now? What do I want? What do I have? Where am I at? So if I hire a new therapist, how long will it take me to onboard them, orient them, get them to fill their caseload to the point where we get to $1,000. What does that look like? I don't know. So it's like you compare the two, and then it's like, which one do I want faster? And it's like, well, I already know I can do the therapy thing, right? And then the other thing for you, Patrice, sorry, my brain just went somewhere else really quick, is that you have to look at the ebb and flow of your season. Because your why was because I want passive income throughout the year for when my season is ebbing. You know what I mean? My season is like, whatever. And I don't have to be, I don't have to have that worry like, oh my gosh, I have to push and kill myself because soon people are going to be on vacation or whatever. They're going to be trying to buy Christmas presents, whatever happens, because you have mostly private pay patients, clients. So those are the kind of things I would challenge you to think about to help you make the best decision for yourself. It's like, am I looking at this solvable problem, this t-shirt business, as just another tool, another business, another leg, arm to my practice that can kind of run itself? Of course, I got to do the initial upfront, maybe 90 days, whatever, 6 months. I just got to go, do whatever I have to do to follow and get it out there. But can it take care of itself with a couple scheduled social media posts eventually? Will you have all your clients that are even coming into the practice, or even meeting with all your therapists on Zoom wanting to buy them? Right. And then it becomes more of a passive income for you, as opposed to you having to continue to layer on things that can't happen without you.
Right. No, that makes good sense. I have to get beyond not being in control over the process of the shirts, I think, then, so that I don't find myself feeling already like it can't happen. Yeah. Feeling defeated before I even start, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, do you feel like you've totally, like if the t-shirts was your solvable problem, do you feel like you've given the t-shirts the space it needs, the space they need, or it needs, all the things in your day-to-day life, so that way it's like, are you feeling like it should have been successful already, or like I did it and it didn't work, forget it? Like, tell me where you're at.
No, I know I haven't given it the time in order to, I only have one shirt out right now, so I know I haven't given it the time to do what it needs to do. I think I'm getting frustrated with the process of just getting to the point of having the shirts.
Yeah.
Because so much is not in my hands. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like different if I knew how to like create the shirt. I knew how to like upload it to my website, like get it on. Like I have to basically outsource everything. And the only part that's really in my control is the marketing of it. But that doesn't come until all the other pieces are done.
Yeah, I understand. But I have a note in here. I wanted to talk to you all about risk, right? We have to determine what the risk looks like for us. And I'll tell you exactly what I wrote in here. And I can put this in the chat too. I said risk can be viewed through the lenses of achieving happiness. So it's like, risk, happiness. I'm taking a risk because I want to achieve happiness. Or this is what happiness means: selling these t-shirts. Happiness means selling this nail polish. Happiness means getting these courses out, right? I said, but once you've identified what truly matters to you, the greatest risk becomes not attaining those things that bring you happiness. So it's like the greatest risk here is you not actually doing what you say you want to do. You're not creating that passive income. So it says it's important to recognize that everyone's perception of risk differs. So for me, the biggest risk lies in not achieving my desired outcomes. If a particular path aligns with my logic, reasoning, and evidence, then not pursuing it becomes a riskier option, as it eliminates any potential avenue that I will reach my goals. In other words, and I wrote this in a sideline that y'all can't see, but I'll send it to you right now. I said, think about what makes you happy. The biggest risk is not getting those things to make you happy. Not getting those things that you say will make you happy, right? That's the biggest risk, is not actually accomplishing it. So for me, the risk is not reaching my goals. That's it. The risk is like not actually getting there, like not being able to make an extra $1,000 a month. What does that mean? to me, my life, my personal life, my business. And for my Costa Rica example, the risk is for me is me risking the fact that I'll never get to Costa Rica and have my peace. That's the risk, right? So if something seems like the best way for me to get what I want is not doing it is riskier because it means I might not achieve what I want. So if something seems like the best way for me to get what I want is not doing it is riskier. Does that make sense? So if it seems like, so if I don't do all the things that are in alignment with what I say I want, to me, that's more risky than doing the scary, risky things that are in alignment with what I say I want. Because at the end, if I don't do anything, the only risk here is, the only sure thing is I'm not going to do what I said I want. Yes, you'll be in the same position. So when we think about it, and the other thing we can look at risk for you specifically, Patrice, or any of us, I mean, this can apply to anybody that's like, it can apply to all of us because none of us are like destitute and like, this is it. They're like, if it doesn't work tomorrow, we're going to pack it up and go move home with mom. Then it's like, how important is, like, how important is it? And then what am I willing to set aside? So for example, with Patrice, it's like, okay, you already have the practice, the money's already coming in, these things are already rolling. So is this a good time for me to take 90 days and focus on something else that can give me what I say I want versus never even trying and I continue to do all the same stuff. And so therefore I never even tried. You get what I'm saying? Like it's important, like, because we're not at risk right now, meaning like, things aren't the way we want them to be, but you might be able to take a little bit of a risk right now. So I'm just giving y'all different ways to look at it. Does anybody have anything to say about that?
I kind of agree. Regarding the risk, like you said, we don't need the risk right now. And for me, like with my job ending in June, it's like I know it's coming, but right now it hasn't happened. So I'm not hungry right now.
Yeah.
When that last paycheck comes and there's no severance, I'm going to be hungry and I'm going to be looking for every risk. So right. I understand. And it resonates with me too.
Right. I'm just sharing the other thoughts I had that I didn't share with you all because now that we all make copies. These are other thoughts. Your actions need to align specifically with your solvable problem. So every single thing, and it's easier said than done. So I wanted to explain this, right? It's like, yeah, Tamara, that's what you say. But, and we say it too, which is where this whole like, where am I at? And getting real with ourselves is so, so critical, and being honest with ourselves, because a lot of times we say we want this, but our steps are not guided in that direction. They might be for some days or half the day, but it's no different than what we do in our business where we self-sabotage. Then it's me saying I want to lose 5 pounds, but I'm just only going to have one Twinkie. If all my actions aren't in alignment, then what am I doing? Are you willing to direct all your resources to the thing that you say is most important to you? I gave that example of Tashanta in that house. Literally, everything stopped. And it was all roads to, I'm moving to Arizona. She didn't even consider anything else. No matter what happened, like literally, like she had standard answers. She was like, oh, my brother called. And I was like, no, because I'm about to move. And so-and-so wants me to go. No, because I'm about to move. The lady hadn't even bought a house yet, but she knew she was about to move. That was her solvable problem, is to get in the house, a house that she loved. She was very clear about it. Okay. So how are you all feeling about this? I know we don't talk through the time, but hopefully, does anybody have anything written down? Anybody want to share their solvable problems or thoughts around it?
I did. I wrote.
Awesome.
Okay, so let me on this ratchet MacBook. Hold on, I gotta use 2 fingers, right? To go back.
Yeah.
Damn thing. Oh. Ooh. Okay. It's pulling up the menu when I try to scroll back up. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Okay, what do I want? Enough earnings to transition from my day job. Where am I at? lacking systems, technically challenged, family illness, and lack of support. What do I have? What do I need? I have Tamara. I have access to schools, access to a great network, access to admin, meaning administrative staff, within schools. I need time. I need office space and assistance, which I'm working on, with like a virtual assistant and creating systems. How do I get that? Leverage my network, become more active online, and list the things I can do with what I have right now. I can continue Excel Beyond the Bell, maybe look at taking on new schools, continue networking, and start coaching. I'll be certified on the 25th, y'all.
Yeah, yeah, definitely in your arsenal. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then, so the timeline to accomplish is where I'm stuck again, because sometimes I feel like I do get a little over ambitious. And okay, so Friday, Dana, the lady I told you about, I had a meeting with her Friday, and she was like, yeah, you were at the top of their short list, which is why I followed up again, because they really wanted us to connect with you. So me being greedy, they're like, we have a stipend of $75 just for you to share with your network and get people to come. So I got that, and then $3,500 is the paid performance. So I was like, oh, you got 3 slides, 2 left. Okay, I could do 2 segments, fashion show. Keisha, your whole life is like upside, damn it, down. Why would you tell this
So
lady
wait,
that?
you agreed to do 2 fashion shows at their thing?
No, just 2 segments.
2 fashion show segments, and they
Right.
pay?
So even if
Oh,
I
you
had,
have to pay.
no, they'll pay me. But yeah, so even if I accepted, that money and then use some of it to secure the venue, because it's at the same venue,
I understand.
use some of it to secure the venue, I would still have some more left to
Mhm.
put towards the actual, show. It all sounded good Friday when I talked to her after talking to you Thursday. But sitting here Sunday, it's like, okay,
That's what we talked about on Thursday?
but I'm just thinking now, like, what just happened just now? I mean, I got completely thrown off task because, his football practice went over. And it's like, I have all these kids, all these responsibilities. And it's like, how do I really, like, I want to do this and my actions do align with it because, like I said, it sounded good Friday.
Mhm.
I mean, the schedule is open, but it's like, how do I, realistically fit it with my life right now? And now I can't cancel because I do need them as a venue and, moving forward.
So, you wanna know what I think?
Yeah.
I think that we can adjust your solvable problem, because you said make income to, you didn't give an exact number, and hopefully you've written it down. You don't have to share it with us, but I want to make sure that that's clear. It has to be a number, right? It has to be clear because we don't know if we're getting there, if we're not clear. But that could be part of it. So it's like, okay, my solvable problem is to make an extra $5,000 a month. This is a made up number.
Mhm.
And now when you go back, when we dig back into it, you have everything you said, you did answer the questions. That's great. So now we get down to what the tactics look like. One of them is to produce this fashion show, and that's going to yield money, which is going to whatever. And I already know that the fashion show through the nonprofit, the goal is to get that venue sponsored anyways, or to get
Right.
funding for it. So the 3,500, we don't know, could be paying your bills. It could be to replace your salary one month or towards
Right.
it.
Mhm.
So it's just the way you think about it, right? So I just want to shift the thought around it as like, fine. You can't, you just told me, because I had questions, but you answered all the questions saying I can't say no now. So we're stuck with it. So now we just adjust the solvable problem to that specific amount and look at this as a tactic that's going to help you fulfill that solvable problem.
Okay. Okay.
And then I know we have all the other, we still have kids and we have all the other things, all the stuff you said. But even when you were saying, what do I need versus what do I have? Everything you said you need, you already have. That's what I heard. And so with you specifically, I think it's clear that you have everything you need to take your next best step.
Yeah, I guess.
And one of your tactics is going to be this 30-day is that increased visibility, kind of like this fake model I just put. You can almost take that and adjust it for your actual business.
Right.
Which is going to start, it's going to help everything.
Right. Okay.
It's all connected. Like, I feel like sometimes when you talk about your business in your life or your business, but like the nonprofit and it's like all just, it sounds like it's all different things. It's all the same
But
thing.
it really is one. Yeah.
It's all the same thing. It's all pushing you towards your goal of, it's all the same thing.
Okay.
So I'm so sorry to tell you, Keisha Martin Riley, you're not as messed up as you think you are. You're not as
Right.
far away
Okay.
as you think you are.
It's my over.
It's not as
brain.
bad as you think it is.
Right. I can do this.
All right. Shashan says, I want to focus less on social media and get out into the world and bring people to social media. So my solvable problem is to create 3 products to sell at vending events so that we can network with people and get more subscribers and followers directly, so that the social media can be just a tool and not the measure of success with. I love that. That is good. That's good. Shashan, I mean, even with your journaling, with your business specifically and with Carter's business, you could be doing all kinds of the same way we were brainstorming how Carter can be out in the community doing things. You can be out in the community doing things too. Selling things, not just doing. We need to do, but we also want to sell, right? I can agree completely with that. All right, how are we feeling? Want to take a break? I think, what do I say? We're gonna take a 10-minute break. Is everybody good on time before we jump into our next piece? I know we started late.
I want to share something before we go to break.
Oh, yes.
I heard something come up that's really true for me. A lot of times, and I see it in my daughter as well, like we produce under stress, and I want to retrain myself to not do that, to like create when I think it was Keisha I heard saying, I have a check now, but like in a couple months I won't, right? And we make it happen when we're under stress. And I want to retrain myself to not do that, to create from joy and abundance and love and all the other things that we have. I want to be able to make it so life, like I tell myself, life gets to be easy, but that's not always my experience because I know how to do it under stress. I don't necessarily know how to do it when it's easy and then to allow for the things to flow and let that be my inspiration. So I really appreciate Keisha for sharing that because that's something I also want to create in my life for well-being.
I love it. Love it. Love it. That's good. Thank you for that, Keisha. And it's true. We know how to do it. When we kind of talked about that last week, I think a little bit, it's like when it comes down to it and they say the lights are coming off or you're getting ready to lose it or it's almost over. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry, Patrice. All right, so Patrice has a couple minutes. We can, if you need to take a break, take a break. But before Patrice leaves, this was an exercise I want to do at the end, but this is a good break exercise as well. I need everyone to drop a number between 1 and, let me see, 1 and 60 in the chat. All right. Just bear with me. I'm going to send you a Voxer message. Patrice, I'm going to send you yours first as soon as I find it. And then I'm going to ask you to read what I'm sending you. You can read the actual front of the card. And then you can read the back of the card or type it in the chat if that makes you feel better, whatever makes you feel good. And then I'm going to ask you to, then we can talk about it, or you can share what it means to you, whatever you want. Okay. Patrice, what are you, 40, 42? I could have sworn I just saw 42. Maybe I should have had y'all pick these numbers earlier. Or maybe my things should be in order. If you need to go to the bathroom, get water, get more tea, now's the time. Teresa, I don't want to tell you to pick another number. I know I have your card here. Right, I'm sending you a Voxer message. Everyone's gonna get a quick Voxer message from me. Not anything crazy, I promise. Whenever you get your Voxer, feel free to share. You can read both sides of it. And you could share whatever you want to share about it. I just want to make sure we got this in before we Patrice left, because it's important.
So you said read the front of the card and the back of the card out loud to the group?
Yes.
Okay. So mine was, it says, expect to see and experience more of what you pay attention to. And that's on the front of my card. And then the back of the card says, your attention is a high price to pay for something you don't want, because your attention includes your time and energy. It is important to turn away from anything not in alignment with what you want to experience.
Mm, that sounds like we're in the right room today. I mean, how does that make you feel?
Ooh, I'm heavily focused on myself right now, and all that includes being able to focus on my business, my happiness, my peace, my sanity. And so I read this as I'm going to have more of my heart's desires, because I am now being intentional about focusing on me and not putting myself on the back burner like I've been doing for the last 5 years, and focusing on these kids primarily. They get all my time and energy, but I done already told them this is my time. And I'm gonna, of course, continue to be a good mom, but I'm heavily focused on myself right now.
I love it. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So it felt like that card was in alignment with what's actually happening in your life right now.
I like it. I like it. Thank you.
Good. You're
Oh,
welcome.
and then the only other thing I'll say is that the last sentence says it's important to turn away from anything not in alignment with what you want to experience. What was draining me, and it sounds crazy to say on the other side, just because I am a mom and I value being a mom, and that's like super, super important to me. But the more I focus on not them, but their wants, not needs, but the more I focus on their wants, the less time I have for me. And the more excuses I make for not doing things for me or focusing on me and my business, because I will be like, but they want, well, it won't hurt if I just take them on one more little trip, or if I just buy them these pair of jeans, even though I ain't bought myself any in a year. Like, I like that line. Like, I need to turn from that and not feel guilty about doing it, and be okay with just investing in me a little bit.
I love it. I love these cards because they almost give you it's like an ouchie thing also, where you see yourself. It makes you examine like what's really happening, and then it also gives you a permission, and it's like, it seems sometimes it could feel really silly that something, a card can give me permission, but sometimes we just need to read it, say it out loud, declare it, and then it's like, oh, okay. All right, I got it, thank you.
Thank you all for the sweet messages too about my friend. I appreciate that. I will definitely catch up with you all on Thursday during our next session. Tamara, you're gonna post the rest of this in the group?
Absolutely, I will. Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, ladies, for all the feedback today.
All
See
right,
y'all
take
soon.
care.
Y'all have a great rest of the session.
See you, Patrice. Talk to you later.
Will too.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll read mine because it was like, wow, why are you all up in my feelings? Being committed and consistent can be as easy as I allow. Consistency isn't about perfection. Being consistent means being committed with your action, effort, and intentions. Whatever you want to accomplish will take your committed consistency. Don't make it a big deal. Decide to show up on a regular basis. When you fall off, be committed to get back on every time. And you and I have talked about not like just not being so hard on myself with the group. And it is what it is, and it flows how it flows. And I'm trying to be committed with my group and the Instagram and all of that stuff. I really am.
Wow, that's amazing. I swear I can't think of another that kind of like for you. Oh my goodness, that's so good. Is anybody else feeling like, well, so Patrice and now Rashida has read their card. Is anybody else like, was that my card? Did they read my card? Stay out my business, Rashida. Let me know in the chat how you feeling about this so far. Oh my goodness, this is good. I love it. Okay. All right, who's next? I know y'all got them.
I could go next.
All
I
right,
didn't
let's go.
I didn't get one.
They're
It
coming.
takes
They're
a
coming.
while to come through, I
Oh.
think.
Coming
Mine
through,
just
yeah.
popped up after I posted my message.
All right, whoever, go ahead, Sasha.
It says, I honor the voice of my body, which is literally what I'm working on.
Literally what you're working on. I'm telling you, y'all pick these numbers. I didn't pick these for you, but I feel like I would have picked the same numbers.
Yep. It says, the body keeps score of everything. When you're tired, happy, excited, sad, heartbroken, feeling not enough, stressed, carrying things from the past, scared, and everything in between. Your body is so magnificent that when you're unable to process hard emotions, it holds them for you, sometimes to its disadvantage. Listen to your body. It's wise and intelligent. When it asks for movement, exercise. When it asks for rest, chill out and take a nap. When it asks for love, hug yourself and somebody else. When it asks for whole foods, give it the best of the best. When your body speaks, listen, it will reward you for it.
That's it. That's
It,
it.
it literally is. I'm gonna post a song that speaks about that.
Yes,
And
share
y'all
it
could
with
play
us,
it when you want
please.
to.
Thank you. Share it with us, please. Does anybody else feel that? Sasha's card? It's so funny because I pull a card every single day. I used to pull 3 cards, but I was like, you know what? I have to be honest with where I'm at. I need one good card because so I can marinate on the card all day because that's how hard they hit. So yeah. All right. Who's next? Thank you, Sasha. Thank you, Rashida. Thank you, Patrice.
I got mine.
All right, let's go.
And mine literally brought tears to my eyes, just real quick. Because it's definitely where I'm at in this moment. And I really needed to read that. But it reads, my life is what I created to be. The current condition and state of your life is what you have created it to be. If you are displeased or dissatisfied, that's an experience you created. You may be saying, no, you don't understand who I share my life with. However, your life is yours and yours alone, no matter who you choose to share it with. If you're sharing your life with a person or a situation you don't like, know that you are choosing it. You get to create your life experience to be whatever you want it to be. Each day, you have an opportunity to create the life you want to live. Decide to take the moment to move in the direction of life you enjoy living. It starts with your mindset.
That's powerful, Shashan.
Mm-hmm.
That's in alignment, Shashan.
And I like recently released someone from my life. And now I'm in a moment where I'm trying to figure out what does my life look like after that. So now I'm literally in the moment of creating the life that I want. That's crazy that card was like.
It's crazy, but it's also very beautiful because when we realize that the universe, God, whatever, right, our ecosystem is working on the behalf of our good, and things are like that's like our momentum, like because you said you released someone or you moved away from someone, like you took the first step. So now this is like confirmation that like I did the right thing and it's going to be okay and I get to choose. I decided. That's powerful. Powerful.
Pick this and put it on my wall.
Yes. Amazing. All right, who's next?
I can go. Mine says the goal is happiness. Everything you want is because you believe you'd be happy as a result of having it. There is no reason to wait for the dream job, car, house, relationship, or bank account to be happy. In fact, if you decide to practice happiness now, then those material gains will come even faster. Happiness
going to happen.
Huh?
I apologize. I
Oh.
clicked the link. Go ahead.
Happiness is an intentional decision. Why wait when you could be happy now? I'm trying to think how I feel. I have not. I've just been on autopilot and kind of journaling. So I can't say if I've been just content or truly, feeling happiness. But I do believe this. I have, moments, fleeting moments of discontent. But I think since the turn of the year, I have been genuinely in a happy place.
That's awesome. I mean, you have a lot to be happy about. We're always going to find something to not be happy about. But I mean, the fact that your dreams are in motion and all the things that you wanted are actually happening, right? With that really big, heavy thing you did that we call a fashion show, like pretty amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. All right, who's next?
I'll go. Trust yourself to create healthy, whole, delicious relationships. Having healthy, whole, delicious relationships is your birthright. You deserve to have the best of the best in every area of your life, especially in your human connections. No matter what things were like in the past or the decisions you made when you didn't know better, you get to create healthy, whole, delicious relationships now. Trust yourself. You got this.
Yes.
Sister.
Yes. While you were talking, I was like, what? Explain. Tell us a little bit. Whatever you feel
my
comfortable with.
sister had I don't really know my father. My son's birthday is the same day as my father. And so my sister, she knows him way better than I do. She had a relationship with him. I never did. My mom and him, they divorced when I was 5 years old. So she had been calling me on a regular basis. I never ever reached out because I had resentment towards her. And I was, upset that she had a relationship with my father and I didn't. So she called the other day, which was so random. And I still have her number in my phone, but she always called. I never reach out. And so she's like, "Hey sis, how you doing?" Blah blah. I said, "Good talking to you," so forth. And so I asked about the kids. She has 2 kids. I'm like, "Are you gonna have more?" She said, "I literally just had another baby 2 days ago." I said, "Oh my God." So we started talking, and then she was like, "Yeah, how's things going?" So then I apologized to her because I felt compelled to apologize because I have not been the best big sister. And I told her why. I said, this is not me making it seem like it's what I'm supposed to do or I should have been like this or what have you. But I'm apologizing because this was not right, that I felt that you were closer to dad than I was. I said, so I apologize for not being the big sister that I should have been all these years. and let's just start fresh. She was like, oh my gosh. She said, big sis, I always wanted to look up to you. I always look up to you and this and the other, blah, blah, blah. She sees me from afar on Facebook, all social media. And so I just felt like, you know what, it's time for me to step up to be the big sister that I need to be and create this relationship that she needs. She's married now. She's in a different space. She has 3 beautiful kids. They have a house and they're in Vegas. And lo and behold, I'll be in Vegas in the week of the 20th. I was like, this is divine timing. So then this card right here is another divine timing. So it's just crazy, just paying attention. I pay attention to all signs. So I was like, oh my God, when I got this card, oh my God. But on top of that, the example that Tamara set out for me with the relationship she has with her sister really brought it to fruition to be like, you know what? I need to step my game up. So this is something that I need to do before I die. That's my
it. What a beautiful. Keisha says she'll house sit. Come on down, Keisha. You can have my room.
I don't even need the room. I'm just going to take a, chase out there by the pool.
I know that's right. That's beautiful. That is really right on point. All those things, but also what you get from the relationship and what she gets is it's a mutual, beautiful thing. The kids, like you opening your heart and you've been talking about this empty nest experience. You have space.
Yeah.
You have space to love this new baby and her kids and to bring some, sometimes
Right.
we feel like it's so much. If one more person ring my bell. And then other times it's like,
Yeah.
I would love to have a good, healthy, delicious relationship. You know what I mean? Like, that's amazing. All right. Who's next?
I'll go. I just got mine.
Hey, Taquin.
Hello. Mine says, money is the smallest manifestation of abundance. And it says, there are so many reflections of abundance all around you. The sky, trees, oceans, mountains, relationships, good health, strong body, belly aching laughs, healthy and whole relationships, community, work you enjoy, and the freedom to choose. Take money off the pedestal of being the end all to the be all. Although financial well-being is a great manifestation of abundance, there's so much more. Don't limit your life experience to money. And I like that because I think that is right in line with where I am. A lot of my goals tomorrow, you see, they're not tied to money because I feel like what I need to do is focus on making an impact. Like I really just want to focus on my purpose and my calling and touching lives. And I know that once I really hone into that, the money will come. So I'm not focused on money right now. So this really speaks to me.
That's good. I love that. I feel like that's important for a lot of us. So one thing we'll all notice is that a lot of our cards, they hit us, they touch us too, even if it wasn't for you, right? If you didn't pull it, right? If it wasn't the number you chose, it still is in alignment because I feel like that's a lot of what we're talking about today is like taking our eyes off. It's like, what's the solvable problem as opposed to taking our eyes off the like, I just want to be out there to make money. It's like, okay, but we should probably have a plan for that. So everyone's goals and mission are different. And that's right in alignment with you. Exactly. All right, who's next?
I'll go.
All right, Sharika.
I don't know. I agree with it, but let's go with it. My body is my partner in success.
Okay.
And it says, hold on. Well, maybe it is because I can't read. Your eyes, I'm sorry, not your eyes. Your body is the vehicle you use to move through the world, making amazing shit happen. No matter your weight, size, or condition, your body is important. Treat it like a partner you honor and respect. Treat your body like a lover you're crazy about. Treat your body like your partner in success.
Okay. How does it make
I don't know. I mean, right now, so I don't know if I told everyone, but I have Crohn's. So going through Crohn's and moving and stuff it flared up. So I'm like, how is that successful? Other than pushing through.
Well, do I have permission to give a different perspective?
What?
So I'm seeing it as, so a lot of these cards, I think, you know, a lot of everything we've been talking about today is subjective. It's how it lands and hits for us and based on our what's happening in real time for ourselves. But I see that saying, like, you have to honor your body, you have to treat it well, right? Like a lover or whatever, like that means you're catering to its needs. That means I'm resting when I need to rest. That means I'm eating what I need to eat. That means I'm honoring what they said, right? Or how I feel. And respecting your body and realizing it as a partner, someone, something that you check in with as we work together to do this. It does, to me, it doesn't equal pushing through. It means us doing it together, right? Us getting up in the morning and making agreement that this is how it's going to go. And we're going to high five each other at the end of the day. Right. So it's like just a little different way of thinking about it. You know what I mean? And I think maybe that is the right card for you to kind of just eke that in a little bit of like, that doesn't mean you can't, doesn't mean you're less than. It just means it's going to be different. I can, but it might take longer. I can, but it might mean I do these three things first or whatever. You know what you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just reading Keisha. She said, sending hugs, but you did that and moved during the flare up. Yeah. So does that feel okay? A little better, Sharika?
Yeah, that feels better. Like after I read it, I'll be honest with you, I thought of it in different ways. So Easter Day, we were walking to church. I fell, because I'm brand new on my heels after a year surgery ago.
Yeah.
And I threw the baby down because I was like, save yourself. I had my moment at that point, but he had a diaper. He could survive.
He had a diaper. Listen.
So I was like, is this about that? Like, I'm like, oh God, really? We calling me out on dropping the baby?
Right. No, it just means that didn't go as planned. And I'm not going to shun you. I'm not going to shame you. I'm not going to neglect you. I'm not going to talk down to you, or punish you because it didn't work out in that moment. Because you're my partner in success.
She said, and then I thought about that whole situation again. I was like, well, maybe I didn't listen to my foot that was like, yeah, you shouldn't wear these heels yet. Or, or maybe you should have wore some sneakers or something like that. So I see it in two different ways now. Because the first part was like, oh, and then it was like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Good. We got there. You got some good comments in the chat as well. By the way, everyone, I'm going to save this chat.
Everybody screaming, save yourself, man.
Save yourself.
I was crying.
Every person on this call understands what save yourself means. I love that. Okay, let's see. Nicole, April, let me know in the chat if you're available because I'll have you pick a number and send you a card so you know what we're doing. But Nicole. Y'all know it's in the middle of the night for Nicole. It is very okay, April, that's no problem. Nicole, if you Nicole probably might have fallen asleep. I'm gonna send her a private message. Okay. All right. So I need a temperature check because I did slate this as a 2-hour experience. But I feel like what's happening is exactly how it's supposed to happen. So I want to hear from you all. Do you want to continue or do you want us?
Sorry, guys. I was talking, but clearly I had it on mute. I pressed the speaker button versus the mute button.
All right, cool. Well, you're up next. And then I'll come back to what I was saying.
I apologize. Let me get back to the box. Okay.
You see how Tamara said, well, she probably fell asleep like we boring or something, Nicole.
Well, I didn't even hear that part. The funny part is because I swiped over to Voxer, it's like y'all got quiet. So it was just kind of like I hear a sound, but I don't know who's talking. Then I look. So no, I'm up. And it's 2:20 in the morning. I need to be trying to get to sleep.
That's why I said she's probably asleep.
No, I fell asleep on a 5-minute rest thing and caught myself. I did fall asleep on that, but I'm up now. So mine is good. It really has my name all over it. And aside from it, the colors on it are gold, yellow. So, but let me go ahead and read it. It says, "Today is your day, and this is your week." And then on the back of it, it says, "Today is your day. This is your week. This is your month. This is your quarter. This is your year. This is your motherfucking lifetime. Be present and fully show up for it." I mean, it's self-explanatory. Literally, I didn't share anything on the call. I just been writing stuff down, and you know, one of my biggest things is just me moving out of fear. Like, I just really feel like sometimes I just stand in my own way. And it becomes very frustrating for myself, in a sense, almost like self-sabotaging. Like, I messaged Tamara. I know it's Sunday. I didn't think she would message back, and she did. And she just reassured me, like, go ahead and get what you need to get done. This is it. So just seeing this, and literally what my solvable problem was, I wrote down, I want to be ready. And when I say ready, just utilizing all the tools that I have, just go and do it. And this just reassured everything. Like, I can go ahead and do it. Like, this is my time. Just do it. Yeah. So this was definitely I like this. I need the rest of these cards. This is very good.
When I tell you the chills I got when you was reading that card, I was like, hold on.
Yeah. It's like
Yes.
my name was all over it. Like, this has been the theme, the message, the anthem. People who don't even know me. This is literally, they just been saying God is birthing something through you. Like, to release, let go, let him do it, be still, and just come on. So yeah, I definitely hear this. My name is all over it.
That's awesome.
Sure.
Love it, love it, love it. Keisha talking about, yes, you better. She was speaking our language too, Keisha. I love it. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Okay, so my question is, how do we feel? Temperature check. Do we want to continue to move forward, or do we want to pick up on our second piece on Thursday? I'm asking this question because I, again, am not trying to overwhelm you. And one of the things, before you answer, I want you all, because this is another, it's a lift, okay? And I want to make sure that you're with me, and we feel good about it. You feel good about, I don't want to rush through it, and I want to make sure we have open dialogue and talk through and chew on each piece. And one of the things I was going to add at my closing, because like the cards were going to be the closing, and I'll talk to you about the cards in a minute as well. But we did it during the break because Patrice had to leave, and it just felt like a good time, because we had like some revelations, and like there was some emotional pieces. We're pulling out what really matters to us and what we really want. So the cards were right on point, I feel like. And then the other thing I wrote here, I don't know if it's on your doc, but I have this idea of open loops. And we talked about this. I've been talking to you about it a little bit, but I don't know if I actually told you what it was called. This is another thing that I extracted from one of the events that Tashanta and I went to, and that I've been studying. And it's this idea of taking what we learn, right? We all go to conferences, events, experiences, read a blog post, watch a video, sit in this retreat, for an example, and we consume the things, we write the things, then we go and try to heavily immediately execute the things without giving space. What we're trained to do is to not open loops. We're trained that open loops are bad. We want to close the loop. So if I say, the average Black American woman that is successful does these three things. Oh, you can find it on the internet. By the time, before I am even done with my statement or making my point, you all are starting to Google and think through and look at and write it down and trying to remind yourself, or you'll stay up late. Like, it's like you can't leave the loop open. You can't just take what I'm saying, sit with it, nurture it in your mind, your body, your spirit, and allow it to marinate, and then maybe journal about it, and then execute, take action on it, right? It's just not in our nature. We're just used to doing the thing right now. Because in school, we were taught, we learned the thing, you're going to test me on the thing. So I need to hurry up and memorize the thing, right? So it's just a different way, another piece of the mindset of shift that kind of resonates and comes out in the way we act and the habits we form as we deconstruct what we have been taught in order to achieve our this next level of success, right? That we say we want. So the idea of open loops, the reason why we don't like them, and this is what I'm giving you, I'm going to tell you this is what you're going to feel, and you already, and I know a lot of you are going to shake your head because you're going to be like, yep, because I probably already feel it, is we don't like them because they make us uncomfortable, right? Again, we've been told that they're wrong, and we're conditioned to fill every space. It's very similar to when you're having a disagreement with someone, right? It could be a significant other or whatever. And you feel like with silence, you feel like you're going to die in the silence. It could be even a text message. And you're like, I don't see the 3 dots. This heifer, or this, whatever. Like you fill in the space with a whole bunch of mess. And that is not even what's going on, right? Or whatever it is. Like, do y'all get what I'm saying? Right? Because it's an open loop and I need to know now. I want to fix it now. I want to do it now. I want to feel it now. I need the dopamine hit now. So what I'm encouraging you to do is give yourself space and keep the loop open. Let me know in the chat or unmute yourself. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. And this is kind of what we've been talking about. I've talked to some of you individually, and I mentioned this on Thursday when I say, give yourself the space to consume it and sit with it. It's okay to not have all the answers. You can take, I mean, like if you take all this information, you write it down, you wrote notes, you poured your heart out, give yourself the next 3 days, 5 days, 7 days to journal about it every day, or speak into your phone about it, or meditate, pray, whatever your ritual is, wherever you feel safe, think through it in the shower, sleep on it, literally. And then come back and look at your notes and revisit and write out thoughts, jot it down. We see all these movies when the genius is thinking through stuff and they're just writing all over the place and it's just all wild and crazy. And it's like history or society is saved, problem solved, right? We don't even give ourselves that amount of time. And it doesn't have to look like that for us, but at least we can commit to giving ourselves the space to process, keep the loop open, because since I'm saying most likely a lot of us have not practiced this, or it's not a part of our regular habits, we don't even know what the outcome could be. So therefore, it might not be a huge risk. What are your thoughts on that?
I like it.
Does that take some of the pressure off a little bit?
It does. It definitely does.
Good. Okay. So now I'm going to ask my question again. Do we move forward or do we pause for Thursday? Okay. Rashida says pause, pause. Okay. I'm proud of you all. I'm here for it. I planned for it. I'm prepared for it. Right? But I want to honor you. And again, I'm no longer pushing because I made a plan at the start of this program that this is what it's going to look like and this is what you need to know and this is how you're going to do it and it's going to drop on and I'm going to stress you and overwhelm you and then you're going to do nothing or do some of it and then beat yourself up. Like I had to change so that we all have permission to change and shift and optimize and take our next best step. It's called micro stepping, and that's what we want to do. Yes, sit in it. Definitely a shift. So that way we can walk through we can Voxer through, we can notes, emails, whatever we need to do. We need to meet more often so we can work through all the little things, right? Because if we haven't figured this piece out, why are we struggling and stressing ourselves out and losing sleep and losing it? Life is life and for all of us. I know that. So it's just it just doesn't make any sense. All right. So our last piece is I want everyone, if you feel comfortable, share how you felt about our time together today. Any takeaways, any thoughts, anything. There's no wrong, right. It's not a quiz. Whatever you want to share. And while you're thinking and developing doing your breath work and getting strong enough to unmute yourself, the cards, don't go looking for them. I will send them to you. Okay, don't go looking for them.
Thank you.
All right. Any thoughts before we close out?
My takeaway is, in conjunction with the cars, is just being consistent and committed for sure. And taking it in bite-sized pieces, like things that we've talked about. And thank you for the push for the pitch, because now I actually wrote it down, and then I can tweak it and see what that looks like. But yeah. And the time, the open loop, I wrote that down also. And what's funny is, so I have this book and I flipped it, and this is what I wrote. I'm not sure when I wrote it. It says complexity is the enemy of execution. Not sure when I wrote that, but I just flipped the page and it was right there. And so here we are.
I love it. Love it, love it. Anybody else have anything to share?
I want to share. I think my biggest takeaway, because it doesn't feel like this in other spaces, is like, plan yourself into what success looks like. Like you're like, it's okay to be you and do the thing. You don't have to become something else or different or whatever. Like, start from where you are and who you are, and that's okay.
I love it. Yeah, that's okay. I love it. So good. Y'all are smart people. I'm telling you, we all have everything we need. We literally have everything we need. Nicole?
Yes, everything was spot on. Truly value it. But even just the closeout piece, kind of like just sitting in things for a moment and coming back to it. That piece of processing instead of just trying to immediately with it. So that definitely was the sounding board for me. Appreciate it all. Thank you.
Awesome. Talkman, did I see you? Thank you, Nicole.
Yes. Just piggybacking on everybody else, like the whole experience was great. I'm really need to sit and think about my tactics and the next steps for what I really want to do and how I want to move. But I really like the cards and the whole pausing and keeping that loop open.
Perfect. I love it. And this is the perfect segue into the next piece, because that's going to help us with like putting it into check and reality based on our non-negotiables and making it work for our lives. We already know that we're different than everybody else, right? What we're doing, we're the anomaly, like we're the dinosaurs. So how do we identify that way as the unicorns? Probably nicer than dinosaur. We're the unicorns. How do we identify as a unicorn, right? In this wild ride that we raised our hand for, but not expect to adjust and adopt unicorn ways, right? It's like, so no wonder it didn't work, because I was trying to do it the way the regular people was doing it, or they, were doing it, whoever they are, right? So, all right, friends. Well, thank you for spending this time with me. I have my little candle going, probably need to blow it out. And I have my roses behind me, and I had these in front of me, inspiring me. And all of you.
I just want to say I thank you
Of
all for this
course.
time. And even that last comment that you said about us being the anomaly is so true. And I just said that to Zaria like 2 days ago, because we were a part of another organization that has a similar concept, but their target audience is the LGBTQIA. I think I got all the alphabets, but and it looks different. And that's what I was telling her. They're in a place where they're getting large grants. They have a band there, they have, all the things. And I was telling her, I said, do I sometimes, look and say, oh, I can't wait till I get there? Of course I do. But I know that what is in me is mine, and how I'm going to execute it is completely different. And so I don't mind the micro steps. And sometimes when I do have those moments of, where I get overly ambitious and opportunities are coming at me, I feel like that's the time that I need to sit with stuff instead of just jumping on. But everything was completely aligned with where I am right now. And I need it to, help me to get to my next. So, and I thank you all for being you. and accepting me as I am. Because yeah, sometimes my dark humor, my twisted jokes, and everything else, I did mean after those kids. So I'm telling y'all, it's a real thing. But sometimes you have to, and
I believed you.
yeah, it's for real. Huh? Like you see, you said save yourself. um, but no, seriously, that's just my coping mechanism. But everything was completely aligned with where I'm trying to get to and where I'm at now. So it was a great experience for me today.
Beautiful. Thank you all for sharing that. Sometimes, you got to know if you're hitting the mark right? And because I feel like I've been really, well, I know I have been listening in a different way to all of you. So that's why the shift you're seeing this is my optimization based on what you're giving me, and I appreciate you giving me what you give me. A lot of times, I feel like, it takes 6 months, it could take a year before you feel like you can trust me, or you feel like you want to share it or tell me things. But lately, a lot of you are just like, look, let me tell you what's really going on. And I don't know what that, I just think it's just a journey. It's just a part of it, whether we feel like people are going to judge us or what, understanding, whatever the reason is, it doesn't even matter. It's just, I'm just happy that we're getting there, because this is my dream coming true. This is my dream coming true, literally. Thank you all. So I have a song for us to play at Sasha's request. You can keep writing your thoughts in the chat. Remember, I'm going to download the chat. It's all very helpful. Just wanted to make sure I was sharing the sound. All right, and let's listen to this on our way out. Feel free to drop off, chat in the chat, do whatever you need. Thank you all so much for being here, and I cannot wait to spend time with you again this week.
If anybody ever forgot to tell you, you're important. You're special even. Your body was made especially extravagant, extra human. You're like a force of skin and nails and heart. You're a walking Monet. You are breathing art. Did you know that it takes the interaction of 72 different muscles just to produce human speech? Relative to size, the strongest muscle in the body is the tongue. Sometimes I wonder where that fact was created from, seeing as though it's the weapons in our mouths that do the most damage to the ones we love. Did you know that the human brain contains over 100 billion nerve cells? So even if your little nephew is acting like he vacations in hell, you should play with him. I'm sure your attention won't cause a deficient amount in nerve cells. Us women, we blink nearly twice as much as men, so keep looking. She'll notice you. May take her a little longer, but she's got to. The average human heart will beat over 1 million times in one lifetime. I am sure you'll find someone who won't mind skipping one for you. The left lung was made smaller than the right lung to make room for that very heart inside of you. Your stomach needs to produce a new layer of mucus every 2 weeks or it would digest itself. Wow. I guess you should never become complacent with living life on a shelf. Nerve impulses to and from the brain travel as fast as 180 miles, and our ears, they never stop growing. There is a reason for every limb and interaction. Body, my God, it's like he created it like an instrument. Every year, about 98% of the atoms in your body are replaced. You were born with 300 bones. When you get to be an adult, you have 206. Grow up. Grow out of things. When something doesn't belong, even our bodies know when it's time for it to be replaced. You gotta get over it. You have to continue to live. There are too many more interesting lessons. 15 million blood cells are destroyed in the body every second. If your body can get over it, you can get over that last relationship. Believe in your brilliant body. Believe in faith. Believe in luck. The surface of human skin is 6.5 square feet, so you gotta toughen up. Your body contains enough iron to make a 3-inch nail, sulfur to kill fleas on an average dog, carbon to make 500 pencils, fat to make 7 bars of soap, and enough water to fill a 10-gallon tank. Suck, superheroes. You're human. You're incredible. Valuable. You're a life force. You're a walking Picasso. You're creatively created. You're handmade. Like praying. You're piece of the Creator. You human you. And if you never knew that that was enough to just be, you obviously don't know a thing. You're so beautiful, special. Yes, you are.
Dark in here. Have a good night, everyone. See you in
Good night,
Thursday.
everybody. See you guys Thursday.
Night.
Good night.
Thank you, Sasha.
Good night.